what up guys? So in today's video I'm going to talk about why 8 hours of sleep should not be a priority for you if you are not where you want to be in life. Okay, this might be a little controversial, especially because, you know, I come from a background of exercise science, optimizing recovery, training principles, all that, and you know, they say 8 hours of sleep is optimum and, you know, required in some cases for gains and stuff like that. I'll just put these sunglasses on real quick. It's kind of bright out here, but yeah, 8 hours of sleep obviously, you know, is healthy. No one's arguing that. You know, if you're trying to become the world's best bodybuilder, become the best at building muscle and recovering the best you can, obviously, yeah, you want 8 hours of sleep. You want a stress-free life. You want to have sex every day. You want to be in the perfect conditions, right, to grow and do all that. But if you're like not a professional bodybuilder, right, if your income, your livelihood does not depend on these kind of things, and you're just a regular dude trying to get in shape and you're fucking broke, you know, you got a lot of other shit going on in your life you need to fix, 8 hours of sleep should not be like the end all be all priority. That should not take precedence over, you know, finding a job, you know, getting a better job, maybe making more money, you know, getting out of your parents' house if you want to move out, or really attacking any goal that you really want to do. Doing those things, doing actual actions, like being awake and living life and making progress should be the priority over getting sleep. All right, I used to, you know, I wasted so many years before I really joined the army, you know, kind of being trapped in this limiting belief that if I didn't get enough sleep per night, 8 hours or whatever, like I wasn't going to be able to perform optimally. I wasn't going to have a good workout. I wasn't going to be mentally sharp enough to do these things, you know, and like that was my excuse. That was my cop out, you know. I would and mind you, I was like getting shitty sleep anyways, you know, because of my sleep schedule's all fucked up. Like I used to sleep at midnight, past midnight, 2 a.m. sometimes, and wake up in the middle of the day because like I just didn't have my daily routines locked down, had no discipline, you know, no purpose in life besides waking up and kind of going to the gym a little bit, but really like I was just kind of living in perpetual comfort and going through the motions. And you know, I thought that, you know, as long as I get my 8 hours of sleep from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. or sometimes even some stupid shit like 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. I thought that, you know, I thought 8 hours of sleep, like no matter the time of the day, I thought it was the same, which it isn't. You know, you want to sleep from obviously when, you know, certain time to certain time, around 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is ideal, or you know, kind of in that window. You don't want to go too far off in the right or left direction of that. And yeah, man, I was kind of not making progress for a long time in my life because I was always trying to optimize my recovery, my sleep and stuff like that, even though I wasn't a professional bodybuilder, and at the time I wasn't even posting online or doing anything really besides just, you know, lifting for my own sake. You know, so like you know, I think a lot of people these days, especially if you're living with your parents or younger kid and stuff like that, yeah, you might be really into the gym, but like I implore you to really, you know, try to maximize every area of your life besides just the gym, because like looking back, if I literally just got a fucking regular ass job that, you know, and this kind of goes back to my mentality when it comes to finding a job that I posted in my previous video. How like one of the mistakes I made before, like when I was younger, was I saw jobs as a nuisance, as a waste of time, right? I saw it as a waste of time because I was working for some guy that I didn't really give a fuck about, getting paid peanuts, and I wasn't planning to work there for the rest of my life. I felt like it was affecting my fucking recovery and some bullshit. But once I, like, you know, now I realize that having a job actually gives you a lot of structure in your day, okay? Which is the reason why they exist, you know? Like, if nobody had a job, like, obviously...
Take your next right onto Old Highway 77.
...in this world, and people would just be lounging around waiting for some motherfucker to hand them something, which no one's gonna fucking do, alright? Someone's gonna go out there, hunt the lion, hunt the elephant, or whatever, you know, get the food, basically, or do the important shit. That's why we have jobs, though, just to allocate, you know, resources and energy in this world. where was I?
Turn right onto Old Highway 77.
And yeah, I'm not the best at driving and multitasking. I'm kind of just experimenting today, just because I'm so familiar with the road right now, going to work, that I don't need to like super focus on driving, if that makes sense. I don't recommend this, but yeah, like if you're a young guy, you're living at home with your parents, yeah, there might one thing, yeah, if you're saving money, you got a plan going on, that's one thing. But if you're anything like me before, where you're just kind of living with your parents because that's all you're too scared to leave your house, to move to a new place, to get out of your comfort zone, or too lazy to get a fucking get a job, really, then like that should be your priority. You should be figuring out your life as a young man. Like, you don't have all the time in the world to figure it out, really. Your 20s, when you're young, in your early 20s, maybe you're 18, maybe you're 30 plus, maybe you're older than me, you're older stage of life. You don't have time to figure it out, man. Like, like the years are gonna start going by like that, because like the older you get, like 1 year will be like a smaller percentage of your life, so it's gonna seem faster. That's why when you're younger, that's why when you're younger, the years feel like they go by so slow. Every experience is new and it's rich, and like everything feels so new. And because like everything is new, you have less experiences to draw from in your life in your short period of time you've been on this earth. But as you get older, like the years are gonna go by faster, because you've seen more things, you've experienced more things, and you're just an older person.
In half a mile, turn right onto Parker Road.
Your priority should be like building yourself up, right? Building your skills, building your body, fucking getting in shape. If you're not in shape as a young man in this day and age, with fucking affordable gyms, even if you don't have money, you can straight up work out at your house, do street workout like I did, right? Just YouTube videos.
Turn right onto Parker Road.
You need to be getting your ass in shape, investing in your health, in your body. If you're trying to fucking, if you're having trouble getting girls, man, get the fucking shape, dude. Like obviously it's not all about looking good and that, but like getting in shape is probably one of the biggest multipliers of your life when it comes to your overall confidence, success, longevity, like anything you can think of, right? Like getting in shape will multiply all of these things. Even if you're like not really a guy that likes working out, or never played sports growing up, like you should try to like at least get into a decent body fat percentage, get lean if you want, build a good amount of muscle, right? So you can do physical activity without getting injured, because that's what muscle does. It prevents injuries. And yeah, man, just go after it, man. Forget about maximizing sleep, start maximizing your life. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know if you like this.